What you're talking about. Oh, it makes a difference.
It's the same. They're both 3 o'clock. Thank you. With that, we will begin our Selma City Council special meeting, which is January 24th, 2025. It's 3 p.m. in the Selma City Council chambers at 1710 Tucker Street, Selma, California, 93662. Teleconference phone number is 301-715-8592. The ID is, and password is 891-6864-5005. And notice to meeting attendees. All Selma City Council meetings are video recorded. All rules of procedure and decorum apply to in-person attendees as well as those participating virtually. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to verbal outbursts, personal attacks, or inappropriate gestures will not be tolerated. Attendees who fail to adhere to these guidelines will be asked to leave the meeting pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.9, which authorizes the removal of disruptive individuals. When on the phone, if you wish to address the council during the public comment portion of the agenda, press *9 to raise your hand. We will select you from the meeting queue. Press *6 to unmute and mute yourself. Would you call the roll, please, City Clerk?
Councilmember Avalos?
Here.
Councilmember Oseguera?
Here.
Councilmember Trujillo?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Guerra?
Here.
Mayor Robertson?
I'm here. Potential conflicts of interest. Any council member who has a potential conflict of interest may now identify the item and recuse themselves from discussing and voting on the matter. Agenda changes or deletions to better accommodate members of the public or inconvenience in the order of presentation. Items on the agenda may not be presented or acted on in the order listed. Additions to the agenda may be added only pursuant to California Government Code, Section 54954.2b. Oral communications. At this time, any member of the public may address the City Council regarding any item over which the council has jurisdiction. No action or discussion will be taken on any item not on the agenda. Issues raised will be referred to the city manager for review. Members of the public are asked to limit their remarks to 3 minutes. Do we have any oral communications at this time?
Good morning, Mayor and council members. My name is Blanca Mendoza Navarro, and I am here to talk about a couple of items that came up at the last meeting, at the last regular meeting. The first one is, as you know, the DA's office did send out 2 letters stating that the procedural remedies were not satisfied at both of the last meetings, and as of the 21st, they still were not satisfied. The other item that I wanted to bring to your attention is the animal shelter, the request to dismiss that case. One, I would like to know how we're able to have the attorney that actually was asking for an extension and was helping out the animal shelter, how he was the one that was able to ask for a dismissal now that he's the city manager, the city attorney for the Selma. For the city of Selma. I'm not sure, but if I recall, you cannot serve both sides of the law. You cannot be the plaintiff and the defendant. You cannot be doing that. That's the same thing that he also did when he asked this body or the body in 2020 to approve the city council resolution for the election results in 2020, and then turn around and represented Mr. Avalos in a lawsuit against the Fresno County Elections Office. That was for my seat, by the way. So I wanted to ask about how that is possible. The other thing is that this body, when I saw that you guys were asking questions, questioning every single charge that the city manager is making, every single charge that the basically city employees are making, but you are quick to say, I don't want to know anything about the animal shelter. I don't want to know their finances. I don't want to know their records. We just want to dismiss everything. But yet you're hounding and asking for transparency about the city, 1. 2, I was asked about, or when I questioned, when I was on the dais, when I questioned, Mr. Mayor, don't you see the invoices? You should question what you're signing, all these checks. And all of a sudden I get my head bit off. But now, you know, you're saying, oh yeah, I see every single invoice. I look at everything. Talk about transparency. I'm not sure like I said, you guys are just ridiculous. So that was a couple of things that I wanted to do. Instead of really talking about, the check registry, the priorities of having lights downtown, we should really think about that there was fires in LA and what are the impacts of those fires to our community. There was 11,000 fires. I'm sorry, 11,000 homes that were lost in those fires. And instead of talking about the lights, we should look about what are we going to do to be able to help the community. That's what these individuals are doing, talking about our city and development. And so that's all I have to say about that. I'm sure I have more to talk about, but I just wanted to bring those things to your attention. Thank you.
Any other oral communications at this time? Anybody else want to say anything at this time? That will move on. Do we have anybody online or on the phone who'd like to weigh in? Okay, next one is special presentations, none scheduled. Consent calendar, nothing on the consent calendar, nothing on future agenda items. Today's meeting is for the purpose of the closed session, which is entitled Public Employment Pursuant to Government Code Section 54957. The title is All Position, All Departments. And with that, we are going to recess into closed session at this time. And we will ask, you've already had your time to
No,
speak.
that was an oral communication.
Yeah,
Now you
yeah.
have,
Sit down.
excuse
You're
me,
creating
no.
a disruption
I am
according
not
to
creating anything.
the beginning of the
You
meeting.
have-
So
you
you can
have-
stand down. You used your 3 minutes, ma'am.
No.
What do you want?
I want to talk about the closed session item. That's the second item. That's the first item on the agenda. That's
No,
a
it's
different
not.
thing.
You don't get to, you should know that after having been on the council for 4
Yeah,
years.
you should
only
know
get
that
one
after
time
knowing
during
12,
oral
you have 12
communications.
years of experience and you still violated Brown Act. You have a lot of Brown Act violations that happened the other day.
Down, please.
No,
And
what I'm going to say
we
about
are
that
going
is,
to
does this
be
body know how many
recessing
employees you
into
have?
closed session at
You know
this
how
time.
many employees you have? You have
Clerk,
2
please,
employees,
please,
the city manager and the
Turn
city
off the
attorney. You
microphone.
have no
Already had a chance.
authority over the
You
other
already
employees.
had your
I'm
oral
just letting you know.
communications. But
Thank
we'll be
you.
sure to send this video
Bye.
to your housing authority in Madera,
Yeah,
trying to disrupt our meetings.
yeah, we'll see about
Yeah,
that.
and you could attend that mayor swearing in. Interesting. You attend that meeting. Okay, so we're going to recess into closed session at this time. And we're going to do that here instead of in the break room because we have the person who will be joining us for that meeting on Zoom. So we're going to ask you folks to not have to stand outside, but please, you can go into the lobby and then we will let you know when we're back in session.
Added as a notice to the attendees on Zoom, if you wouldn't mind logging off. Thank you.
I think he's leaving too.